All right, we are live and in the house. It is the Working Fans Podcast, daily content going live. And you know how we do. I'm going to look for this little video we like to play in the beginning here, this intro video. And are you a fan of pro wrestling, comedy, and combat sports? Then we have the podcast for you because we cover that and much, much more.
Do you like to debate with your friends? Do we have the perfect segment for you? It's the 531, where we take any given subject, break it down to a top 5. From there, we debate it down to 3, and then into that number 1 spot.
If you want to get a hold of us, find us on our social medias. Search Working Fans Podcast on any major social media platform. And if you want to find the podcast, search for us on any major podcast platform, as well as YouTube.
Working Fans Podcast. We put in the work so you don't have to.
All right, guys. I got producer Joe with me today. We're going to have a little fun. We're going to talk some of this new WWE game that got out. Before we do that, pretty stacked Dynamite last night. We're going to talk about this more tomorrow. I got producer Joe in. AJ's got 3 doctor's appointments and a dentist appointment. And ugh.
Surprised the hell out of him, too. He had no idea they were coming at him. They just, you know how these appointments work. You just wake up and you're like, fuck, my Friday is gone.
All 3. You know, I get actually if you had one appointment and it was like 6 months and they're like, yeah, I get to you, but man, you got 3 fucking appointments in one day. You couldn't remember one of them. So I said, all right, rather than because these things are supposed to be kind of quick, rather than talk all this AEW Dynamite tomorrow.
This is the first time I felt alive all week, so I had to get on for some kind of talk.
Yeah.
COVID had my ass, but now I've got I had an 80% blockage when the week started, but I think I'm down to 15-20%.
Oh, man.
Shit.
Hasamoto ain't got shit on you.
No.
Dude, so we're doing this tomorrow. We're talking AEW tomorrow, but I figured since I put AEW in the hashtag and we actually try to be authentic about our hashtags around here, I said, fuck it, let me bring up something. So let's talk about
last night's most memeable moment.
You mean the Jeff Hardy?
It was, you knew Jeff was coming out.
Yeah.
And then when his music hits, it was good to see him.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little weird that he stopped to dance.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, whatever. But the internet has taken it over and it's a funny moment. I mean, last night's episode was so packed. We've got a ton to talk about tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. They talked about it on posts, and I was thinking about it, too. And again, we'll talk about it tomorrow, but, Tully Blanchard getting fired. That is,
that was a throwaway in the middle of the show.
Yeah. And I don't understand what happened. We'll talk more about it tomorrow, but I agree with Post. I'm like, I do this for my family. I got a family. I want championships. You're not our family. You're fired. Fuck out of here. Yeah, Randy, we did too. We enjoyed Real's promo, but we're going to talk about this tomorrow. I got Joe on today, and I want to talk mostly about this new WWE game. Tell me what you like. Yeah, there it is.
There's the cover, the regular cover, but if you pre-ordered at least the Rey Mysterio edition, you got this nice hard case cover, which if you're watching our TikToks, it's the one thing besides AJ's head that's popping up on there recently.
So what is some of the different storylines comparable to some of these other
things they've improved on, as opposed to the old games, is graphics look a little bit better. I mean, as much as they would 2 years out from the last game. Gameplay mechanics are pretty good. I didn't think the gameplay needed fixing really, but they definitely, it's fun. The GM mode is challenging. but it's been a nice addition. Something past games haven't had. They
What
got
are
this thing
some?
called My Faction Mode, which is almost like Madden Ultimate Team, where
Hmm.
you can make up a lineup based on different cards you get of different wrestlers. And then the more you go on, the more cards you can acquire, and the more diverse your roster can be.
Now, what are some of the characters you've been playing with?
Ooh. On my faction, I've got Jordan Devlin, Finn Balor.
Mm.
I got the Undertaker pack because since I got the pre-order, I got the Undertaker characters, and then you get the cards in that game. Oh, I'm trying to think of I got a lot of garbage females. It's like Maurice, Io Shirai is probably the best one. I got Raquel Gonzalez, and that's been that faction mode. Like the faction mode, it depends on the cards you get. Now in GM mode, you can draft your own roster. So I went with the NXT UK brand, and I'm going head to head with NXT. My men's champion is Walter. My female champion is Natalia. And then other people I've had on the roster, like you get quite a budget. So just recently I picked up like Ric Flair. I've got X-Pac.
Mm.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the other people I have on there. If the game's not in front of me, they kind of blend together.
So
But it's been really fun. If you go on our YouTube, you're on our YouTube now, but check out the video on our YouTube and you can kind of see a little bit of that GM mode.
One last question about it. Any legend characters stick out to you that you're like, oh shit, I didn't know they had that?
Ooh, Papa Shango. I actually added him to my NXT UK roster. They've got, God, even the career mode is better in this. I didn't even bring that up. Where in my career mode, I've been to Mexico and Japan. I don't think I've had a main NXT shot. I'm still kind of in the performance center, but there's so many storyline things you can do. You can talk to other people that pop up in the arena, or you can answer emails or DMs, and all those can lead to different storylines.
Is Alex
I check
Zane
my
in this game?
DMs regularly.
Did they get Alex Zane?
No, he's not in the game.
Yeah, he was. I want to say at 205 Live for a cup of coffee when this game came out. So
Yeah, Blake Christian, I believe, too. So they're two like big talents that might have missed the cut. I got to get deeper into the game. Like I haven't played exhibition mode. I've been getting too into the side modes.
okay, interesting.
Very fun game. It actually comes out officially tomorrow. And I've been recommending on the channel, anybody that's like on the fence about picking up this game, I think they've really improved on it, and it's fun. It's great.
And was this the best thing that happened to you all week?
Yeah, I mean, partway through Wednesday, like by the 5th time I shit, I'm like, I think I feel like a new man here. But then it happened like another 3 more times. So I'm like, ugh. Guys, COVID is no joke. And I don't even think shitting's a part of COVID. That's just what my body did.
Yeah. Everybody's
Oh,
different.
yeah, that was probably the best thing, I'd argue.
Yeah, at least you got to play this game this week. So, all right, guys. So one last thing, MLW tonight. We'll just since I got Joe here, we'll just preview this card a little bit. I'll just throw some matches out there that they're talking about, and maybe a little predictions. Enzo versus Casey Navarro.
They've been shaping this up like Casey's gonna get his revenge.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because I don't see Enzo being here for the long haul. 5150 versus Devon Eriks, Ross and Marshall. Do Ross and Marshall get the tag belts back?
I think so.
I think they were going to win it in Dallas, personally. And I think when they got sick, it changed plans. My guess is they might do it here.
And when I messaged you earlier in the week during one of these daily contents about the Mortons being against them, I believe I had just watched MLW like the day before.
Yeah.
And they were calling out the Von Erichs. They were calling out the Mortons. Yes. So I think that's where it got crossed. And it was a really good promo from 5150, basically saying that giving their lack of family life
Right.
and like where they've come from, and that, you know, the Von Erichs and consequently like Kerry Morton both got their name from somebody else.
Right. They did it on their own.
Yeah, I like the Von Erichs in this. I mean, that's my heart. Logically, it's probably going to be 51-50 because, like you said, if it was in Dallas, they would have taken it. Now, I mean, I want the Von Erichs to win it, but
Yeah, we'll see. National Openweight champion Alex Kane, who already got the win over Calvin Takeman with some help last week. Against with his second, I can't remember that guy's name actually. And yeah, big dumb bastard.
I was hyped for that match. I was surprised they were putting that on like a regular episode of Fusion.
Yeah, but they set it up for next week or this week now, and it's got ACH added to it. Don't forget the super bitch.
I totally did. I was like, oh, Tankman versus Kane. This is going to be big. And I don't know. I feel like Kane's going to retain just because he's had such a good run with this Bamaye thing that I feel like they're just going to keep it going forward.
And he has like the Crybaby Calvin t-shirts out there. I love that. I think it's Rich Bucchini who has to read it. And like, he's like, do I really have to read this? And he's like, all right. It's because he's acting like a hoe.
Selling it perfectly. Like, Rich is the best.
Hammerstone, Davey Richards. Does Richards win the title? I feel like Hammerstone is not going to lose it yet because they don't typically lose belts right away here in this promotion.
No, but you remember last week's episode, Davey fought through the whole episode, everything that Richard Holiday was putting up against him. Yeah. And somehow I feel like Richard Holiday is going to be involved in the finish.
Yes.
I can't imagine that the title would change hands. But if you want to do that kind of feud going forward with Hammerstone and Holiday, that's where you do it from.
Right.
And also, Dave, I don't know if you recognize the name of Rich Bucchini's broadcast partner and an attachment he has to a former guest of ours.
Oh, enlighten me.
All right. So Rich Bucchini broadcast with Joe Dombrowski.
Yeah.
Which, if that name doesn't sound familiar to you, then you've already forgot the Les Thatcher interview because he did the Wrestling from the Heartland with Joe Dombrowski, and all those things are available at joe-dombrowski.com.
Okay.
So it didn't even occur to me till I was watching MLW this week, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's the guy Les was talking about.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's the great thing. So, little peek behind the curtain. When I'm doing these interviews, like I got ADHD, folks. So like it's an honor to talk to a guy like Les, and he's giving me so much good information. Those little stuff, like I remember like him telling the stories about Regal being like, okay, you know, like I'll do whatever you want, Les, but I can only do that match with so many people. And, you know, like it's funny now too to see like Regal show up in AEW after having that conversation with Les Thatcher and talking about him. And them referencing some stuff. And it's like, oh, my God. Like, it makes me just kind of happy about what we do because it's like we're just a couple steps removed from some of our heroes that are on TV. And it's like, it feels so good.
100%.
All right, guys. Randy, we're looking forward to the Crockett Cup, too. It's going to be good.
I will most likely be streaming some more WWE tonight. Give fans like one last look before everybody can get it in stores tomorrow.
And there you go. And so that's going to do it for today's daily content. Man called Dave, producer Joe. Thanks for stopping by.